"12 days ago, when we first sat down with Magic Johnson, or Irvin as he prefers off the court, he could not contain his joy at returning to the game he loves." What does it mean to you to be playing basketball again?
Wow, everything.
But when we talked again 2 days ago, just 24 hours after his retiring from the NBA for good, we saw a different Johnson. The trademark smile and bubbling enthusiasm were gone. When did you realize that your comeback wasn't going to work?
I was seeing that the fun part wasn't going to be there. And it wasn't worth playing then if I wasn't going to have fun and enjoy it.
Magic penetrates down the middle. He goes all the way. Reverse layup, left-handed, good.
Johnson says the fun was taken out of basketball by the steady drumbeat of criticism from his fellow players. They were telling reporters they were afraid to play with Johnson, that despite AIDS experts saying the risk of transmitting the disease on the court is infinitesimal, they were scared. Leading the pack, Johnson's colleague on the U.S. Olympic Dream Team, Karl Malone.
If I get in a collision with a guy, it don't have to be Magic. It can be Joe Smo. But the fact of the matter is, if you got the AIDS virus, it'll be hard for me to play as hard as I'm capable of playing. And if people can't respect my decision, that's tough.
What were your thoughts when you heard what Karl Malone was saying?
It's like I'm hurt. You're hurt inside, not at him, at the fact that I won't get a chance to play because of what he said. You understand? But I'm not going to now take it out on him because I understand that he has to look out for himself. But it's too bad it's at my expense.
The Los Angeles Lakers open their season tomorrow night, and Johnson had worked out hard after spending a year away from the NBA since he learned he had the AIDS virus. He played in 4 exhibition games without incident, until last Friday in North Carolina when he scratched his arm, and under new league rules had to be taken out of the game to be treated. There is that picture of Magic Johnson with his arm being bandaged. You got to know that played out into everybody's fears. Here he is bleeding.
And that added to my decision. Because, you know, you could see the fear upon people's face. Just saying, okay, is it all Band-Aids up? Is it all right? It's not leaking, you know, that whole thing. And then what happens is we put a wristband over it. And it just keep on drawing attention to it. So I was there at my hotel that night. I was thinking, I said, between this and all the criticism, it's just too much. It's going to happen all year long. It's great. Whether I get cut or somebody else, boom, there's that panic, there's that fear.
Now, I got to tell you, you're putting your usual brave Magic Johnson face on all this. But I know how hard you'd worked. I know how much it meant to you. It's got to have been tough.
Oh, yeah. It's tough to walk away from something you love. It's tough. It's still tough while I'm sitting here talking to you now. It will be tougher when I go to the first game.
Irvin, were you forced out of the game by your fellow players?
Well, I wouldn't say I was forced out, but I was helped out. You know, it's a difference.
But, you know, here you are. You probably have done more than any other single person to build the NBA. And suddenly your own fellow players are saying, hey, we don't want you. We're scared of you. Are you bitter?
I'm not a bitter type of guy. You know, Chris, I don't hold grudges, and I don't sit here and think, that doggone Karl Malone, you know, I don't do that. That's wasted energy to me.
Johnson said a big reason for returning to basketball was to show that people with the AIDS virus are no threat. But fear of the disease not only drove him from the game, it also fed rumors he's much sicker than he says. Johnson flatly denies it. Still, some AIDS activists say Johnson has now added to the problem by quitting under pressure from his fellow players. Are you worried about the message you're sending by giving in to their fears, by giving in to their ignorance and quitting?
No, because first of all, I'm not a quitter. I'm not a guy who walks away from something that he starts. I always finish.
But haven't you done just that?
No, because I will finish this too, but just in a different way. All I've done is change uniforms, that's all. Instead of wearing a Laker purple and gold, I'll just be wearing a suit or whatever means I go to speak in. You know, everybody wants you to do what they want you to do. It's time for me to do what I want to do and how I want to do it.
When we met with Johnson at his Beverly Hills home 2 weeks ago, all he wanted to do was return to basketball. He introduced us to his wife, Cookie, and he proudly showed off their 5-month-old son, Irvin III. Both mother and child have tested negative for the AIDS virus.
Never wake a Johnson up when he's sleeping.
So he never wake me up. Say, he's usually smiling and having a good time.
I was going to ask you, now we certainly don't see it here, but does he have the smile?
Oh, man, beautiful smile. Looks just like his mommy, huh?
And this is Mommy.
What? The shy one.
Cookie Johnson told us she fully supported her husband's decision to return to pro basketball. How much did he need to get back?
Well, last year it wasn't too bad. He wasn't that antsy. But I think this year it would have really got to him. I think, yeah.
Johnson's year with the AIDS virus has been some roller coaster. His on-again, off-again basketball career and constant rumors, including some that to protect his multi-million-dollar endorsements, he's lied about how he was really infected.
First of all, if I was bisexual, if I was gay, I would come out. But that's just not me. You understand? And people out here who played with me, who played against me, they all know that because we all ran together. We all hung out together. So no way that Magic Johnson can be bisexual or gay and not everybody know it. It's no way.
All right, let's talk about the way you did get the virus. You ask a question in your book. Is it really wrong for an unmarried man to have consenting sex with an unmarried woman, with many women? How do you answer that question?
Well, morally it's wrong. You know, it's easy for me to sit here and say that now, right?
Right.
But, you know, I lived a bachelor's life, a Hollywood life, where a lot of women came my way.
That's an understatement. In his new book, My Life, Johnson talks about his life on the road before he got married. 40 to 50 women in the hotel after every game looking for players. In his zeal to dispel rumors he is gay, Johnson was surprisingly graphic about his experiences. Sex in an elevator?
Yeah, different women have different fantasies, and you wanted to make sure they reached their fantasies. That was my thing.
But I mean, you were Magic Johnson.
That's all right. You didn't mind being a daredevil every now and then.
Sex in an office with people next door in the boardroom?
You know, there's always a look about a woman that you can tell something about to happen.
And so what happened?
She gave me that look, and I said, oh, not here. She said, yeah, here. Don't have any panties on, so let's go. But you know, that's the first time I ever had sex and sweating at the same time. My eyes are over here, not on the person I'm having sex with, believe me.
You're wondering what's going on in the boardroom.
Well, hoping somebody don't hit that door.
Sex with several women at the same time.
Yeah. Like I said, women have different fantasies. Some want to be with 2 or 3 at a time. You know, one time I had 6 at one time. That's just
6 women.
6 women.
Now, was that their fantasy or your fantasy?
That was both. Probably mostly mine.
I got to tell you, you're sending me mixed messages. Because on the one hand, you're saying to me, safe sex, responsible sex, what I did was immoral. And even now, as you tell the stories, I mean, you make it sound pretty good.
I'm not sending you mixed messages. That was my life. If you ask me if I had fun, yes, I had fun. Did you reach all your fantasies? Yes, I did. But you paid for it.
And Johnson may have to keep paying. Primetime has learned that a woman filed a lawsuit in Michigan last Friday, charging that he gave her the AIDS virus in June of 1990. Tonight, through his lawyer, Johnson admits having had sexual relations with the woman, but says he doesn't know if he got the virus from her, she got it from him, or neither. With all the controversies, it's possible to forget there were some bright spots this past year. Last February, Johnson came out of retirement to play in the NBA All-Star Game and responded to the fears and doubts by ending the game with 3 long baskets in a row.
Three-pointer, yes! Oh, my! ladies and gentlemen. You just can't orchestrate it better than that.
You call it the first game ever called on account of hugging.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, here it is. The game's still going on, and the players just come over and start hugging you.
It was tremendous. You know, when you get a sincere hug from somebody, I needed every one of them, too. I really did.
And then there was the golden moment. Johnson's role as captain of the U.S. Olympic basketball team. Looking back on it now, what does being part of the dream team mean to you?
I know my son was special. I know getting married was special. But that was right behind both of them. When he put it around my neck, you know, just with tears. And I said a prayer of thanks. I thank God for letting me be able to participate in the Olympics. This was it. This was the end result right here.
You get emotional thinking about it even now, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It was so much I had to go through to get this.
When we talked back then, Johnson said despite the All-Star game, despite the Olympics, he was returning to the NBA to end his basketball career on his terms.
I didn't go out the way I wanted to go out. And that's not the perfect ending. John Wayne always rolled out the way he wanted to ride out. You know, you shoot the bad guy, he got that walk, and he's gone. That's John Wayne's way.
When we talked a week and a half ago, you said that you wanted to go out like John Wayne.
Yeah.
You wanted to do it your way.
Exactly.
Now you're not going to get that chance.
No, I'm not. You know, it's tough not getting to do anything your way. My movie will have no ending, you know, because the ending is always the way you want it. The perfect ending would have been me playing this season, and but I had to settle for something else.